Okay, hello guys.
Woo! What's
Let's
up?
go. Okay, good evening everyone and welcome to the Geeky Ones. So we're a podcast that talks about anything geeky under the sun, whether it be comics, video games, wrestling, anime, whichever topic, yeah, we're there to cover it. I'm Jude. Next to me is Earl. So Earl, say hi.
Hi.
So yeah, and our
Who
guest for
said that?
is Neil and Tim, who we had for a previous episode. So
Hey!
What's
let's
up?
go.
Hey guys.
Yeah,
Happy
okay.
holiday.
Thanks
So
for having us
last
back.
last time we had you guys on, we were talking about remakes and remasters and re-releases. So the entire franchise uh reboot stuff, because that was really fun. But this time we're gonna talk about the best games of 2021, and 2021 was an interesting year in gaming. I always say that this is like this is like the first year of the new gen.
Yeah, it is. It is officially the first year of the new generation. Yeah,
Yeah.
Yes.
November last year. Yeah.
Mhm. I remember that back in 2014, the first year of the new gen was kind of unusual as well. I mean, there was no sure hitter in 2014. I mean, there was Far Cry 4, Shadow of Mordor,
Mhm.
Dragon Age
Dragon
Inquisition.
Age Inquisition.
Yeah, which is I think in my opinion that deserved the game of the year at that time. But then again, it wasn't a powerful year for gaming because it was the new consoles getting on their feet, and every big release is like the next year, the year after.
And it's a year of that weird cross generational thing where Black Flags in both generations of consoles.
Oh
Watch Dogs
yeah,
disappointed on 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 both current gen and previous generation at that time because everyone was expecting, Watch Dogs is gonna be amazing. It's got all these HDR filters and stuff,
yeah.
all these
Watch
digital
Dogs
features.
was gonna be like the game changer of that year, but hey, yeah, it didn't
Also,
happen.
just as a note, since I managed to land my pick. Remember when we did the remasters thing, and I said, KOTOR deserves a remaster where they'll sort of bump up the story and everything.
Mm.
Guess what Aspire's doing, people?
It gets the complete remake treatment, and that's crazy. Uh, that's kind of amazing that they finally pulled the trigger after a long time, and we're all happy for it. And it's a
Urban Dog.
Bioware game, so
Star Wars
Mass
fans
Effect Legendary Edition released this year, so it's pretty cool.
I mean, we also had Alan Wake remastered, and now look what
Oh
they
yeah,
have.
Alan Wake. That's really cool. But yeah, so for this episode, let's go. We're gonna talk about 10. There are 10 video games here that are on the game of the year. Whether it be on like this is like a culmination, like on our playing experiences. Like we
Mm-hmm.
all we all at least finished one or a couple of games this year. Um, games we played and we spent a lot of hours on, and we ended up just loving it, and that's the best part. And we're gonna talk about genre of the year and best remake, remaster slash re-release. So we're just gonna drop one for each. So to be safe, because there's so many. There are just so many. There's so many games. Um, but yeah, before we start the official list, let's go with genre of the year. Now, in a year where there's so many heavy hitters for each genre, I mean, platforming was like and adventure games were pretty good. Where had you had Ken of Virtuous Spirits and Psychonauts 2 right there.
Right.
So like really great games. Um, but I think the best genre of this year is RPGs, and it's hard to beat it.
Yeah,
Um, from like
JRPGs hit hard.
from start of the year to end of the year, like there's like every there's one title per quarter at the very least, or at least two huge titles per quarter. Bravely Default to I keep forgetting. Yeah, it's a 2021 game. I think I was trying to remember what are RPGs that released this year, and then Bravely Default was so early in the year we kind of forgot that it existed in the same time space as every other game. Neo: The World Ends with You,
Yes.
worth mentioning because it's a long overdue sequel.
Yes.
It's about time that they finally
We needed
touched that
this.
property.
We needed this 5 years ago.
And I know Square. I know there's like news about Square Enix like saying that the low sales number of the game is like
Yeah.
an
It's
issue.
a,
But hey, that's not the fault. That's not the fault of us. That's the
yeah.
fault of them maybe squeezing in too many releases within the same calendar year, which is
Yeah.
crazy for them. We also have Scarlet Nexus for an
Yes.
RPG action RPG. I It was so big. The story was long that I wasn't able to finish the other route.
Oh, there's something before that though, if you don't mind. Persona
Um,
5 Strikers released
oh
this
yeah,
year.
P5 Strikers. That's really great.
P5.
Yeah, that's another one. It's all like there's so many, and then we get the big hitters. So
That even though we're not a fan of it, even though I'm not a fan of it personally, they of the way the treatment of Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl released though, all types of RPGs from Japan were serviced. Do you want action? Here's Tales of Arise, and there's
Ah,
uh,
too many.
Persona Strikers. If you want
yeah, Tales of
something cute,
Arise.
Pokemon. If you want something gritty, Shin Megami Tensei.
What do you call it?
Everyone has something this year for
Uh,
RPGs.
they announced also. I mean, Legend of Mana, right?
Yeah,
Oh yeah, they did.
it
They
hit
had a
this
remake
year.
of that.
Yeah,
It was
yeah,
this year. They
Yeah.
dropped it this year as well. So like, oh yeah, that's crazy.
Too
It's
many.
crazy that we forget that they're all loaded. Everyone's just uh RPGs are stacked this year. I like three of my favorite games of the year are RPGs. Like Riot Shadow dropped Ruin King
Mhm.
alongside Hextech Mayhem,
Mhm.
All right,
and
wait. We're missing one more JRPG. Crystal Chronicles came out. Did it come out this year?
Right. Crystal
Was it this year or was it
Chronicles.
last year?
Crystal
I.
Chronicles.
It's the one. It's the one where the trailer had that wagon thing, or was it last year? I think it was that. Sorry, I think I'm
Anyway,
confused here.
also worth noting, Mass Effect, the Legendary Edition is a re-release, so that's
Yeah.
another RPG heavy hitter.
But
Initially I thought, wait, what is this Legendary Edition? Is this just the first Mass Effect? And then I realized it's all of them. It's all of them in a
it's
nice
all of
little
the good
package.
ones. It's all the good ones.
Biomutant also released in 2021.
Oh yeah, Biomutant.
Mhm.
Biomutant is a nice
It's
little
a
title.
it's also a
It-
good game.
It's
yeah,
it's not bad.
it's a unique it's a nice take on the RPG genre, and it's another and RPGs didn't have that many releases from the western side of development, so that was interesting. Yeah, so genre of the year RPGs, that's like consensus there.
Yeah.
It's so hard to
Yeah.
criticize that genre this year because there's so many.
Oh,
Like
and
there's something for everyone,
yeah,
you
and
know.
you still love Skyrim. Guess
Oh
what?
yeah, you love Skyrim? Bethesda
Skyrim.
loves Skyrim more. So they're gonna release it 10 times over in the
If
next
you,
decade.
if you can play it on Amazon, what's that Amazon thing again? It's like their Alexa. If you can play it on Alexa, you can play it on the fridge. You can
Yeah,
play
you
it
can play
anywhere.
it's the next Doom in that sense.
You-
You know. At one point where we would be able to play Skyrim on the latest Texas Instruments
Yes,
calculator,
graphic display
and
calculator.
we wouldn't
Make it happen.
we wouldn't bat an eye. we wouldn't like flinch when we hear that. Like, oh, this is true. Yeah, you can actually play Skyrim anywhere now. But yeah, RPGs define pretty much of 2021. It's really great to see.
You know why?
Turn based. What?
No, because people can't go out as much, so they have time to play.
Yeah, like, oh yeah, that's very true. Like, uh, you have all these little worlds to explore, and almost all of them are at least like, sure, the quickest anyone can go in an RPG is like 20 hours. Like spend 20 hours on that. But people spend triple digits on an RPG. I can say that because I've spent triple digits on Tales of Arise. And I spent I've hit double digits on Ruin King, and I've hit double
Yeah,
digits on Scarlet Nexus, and see, RPGs defined much of my gaming year. So
right.
that's really cool. And after that, we're gonna talk about best remake, remaster, or re-release. Now, I think we can just pick one, all of us. So, Tim, we
Sure.
can start with you.
Okay, I guess I'll be the odd duck, but then again, it gives me a chance to play the game on my PS5 because it's faster. Death Stranding, Director's Cut.
Oh, okay, yeah, let's
It's a
go with
much
that.
faster experience compared to the PS4. So Kojima added the stuff that he didn't have. So it's more Metal Gear like, but
Hmm.
it's not. It's still technically a walking simulator, FedEx simulator, whatever you want to put it. So it's fun. I mean, I revisited it for my birthday last month. So there's a happy birthday cake and then the extra footage or whatever they add. It's fun. It's quirky but fun. I just want Kojima to announce his next project. Hopefully, something that's more action packed this time.
It's really cool. Yeah, that Stranding was really
It's fun.
impressive.
It's a unique experiment. And then he added, of course, I posted it also on my social media. Those nods to Silent Hills or PT, like
Mhm.
that bathroom scene with the shaky head and it's
Yeah.
Kojima's face when they're in the ready room. So yeah,
I,
okay.
I was kind of joking before that. That Stranding is just like Kojima experimenting on an open world game engine, which is why he used Horizon Zero Dawn's Decima engine for that
Yes,
Stranding, because I think he was looking for something like the Fox engine, which he could never get
which
now.
you can't use again,
You will be
unfortunately.
missed, Fox engine, because even the guys who have Fox engine aren't using it. But yeah, so Neil, your remake, remaster, or re-release of the year.
While I definitely bought a PS5 to replay Final Fantasy VII Intergrade,
Yeah,
it wasn't that my remaster of the year, surprisingly well enough. And I love Final Fantasy Remake. Haters be damned with
haters
what
be
other
damned.
timeline. What I love this year that they've re-released and remastered is Metro Exodus.
Oh wow,
Metro
nice pick.
Mm.
That's a nice
Metro
pick.
Exodus Enhanced Edition, which
Yes.
comes free by the way
Ooh.
if you're on smart delivery on Xbox, is if you want to know what next gen feels like, play through it.
Smart driver.
And and comes with an amazing story that just powers through it. Metro Exodus is, and if you have Metro Exodus on any of your consoles, and if you're on Xbox, it's a free upgrade. It's a free next gen upgrade. It's
No
not
$10, $20 charge.
no $10,
$10.
$20 charges for
No
you. It's
$10
Oh
next
boy.
gen
a
new
weird
gen
upgrades.
upgrade. No, that's
Basically,
Uh,
and if you're on PC, that goes the same too.
it goes
Microsoft
without.
wins. I'm kidding. I don't want to flame stuff here, but
Uh,
yeah,
but
Metro Exodus was brilliantly like of all the remasters that came out this year, the one that gave me the best bang for buck. And to be honest, I didn't spend a buck for it to begin with. Was Exodus? It was just watch it, play it. If there's any time that you should play any of the Metro games,
hmm
Mhm.
it's right now. Now's the best time because they
it's a
are
good pick.
fantastic. It's
It's a
think
good
of it
pick.
as Fallout meets the grittiness of Witcher's writing with monsters and all that stuff. But you're in Russia, so everyone technically sounds a little bit more badass than usual. Likable and cool.
Yeah,
Pretty good.
Russian radioactive winter post-apocalypse. But
What
I realized
what
that
realism there?
Metro always looks great. Like no Metro game has looked bad. Like I think I played the Redux version of
Same.
Metro, the first two Metro games.
They're
I
fantastic.
was pumped when I was playing it. Like, oh my god, this looks great. Like, I could just stand in one area and take a screenshot. That would be my wallpaper for a good few weeks, and it would people wouldn't know where it came from if I didn't
4A
tell them.
games, 4A games know their stuff, but then they love it, and it's Deep Silver. Deep Silver does visually amazing stuff, to be honest, to begin with. So yeah, it's
They
like
do. They really do.
mhm.
Okay. So, Earl, what is your favorite re-release or remake or remaster?
It's either Judgment or the Mass Effect Legendary Edition. But I'll go with Judgment because that's the game that I have played. It's much more smoother compared to
Oh,
the PS4 version.
mhm.
Mm-hmm.
But I played it on the Series X, so the frames are much more stable. It's fluid, but it provides also an alternative to those who are clamoring that why Yakuza 7 is a turn-based JRPG type of
Like a
Ryo
dra-
Goto game.
yeah.
Yeah, like they had
So
a Greek formula.
it's a good game. It's a standard Yakuza type game where if you just grind early chapters, you're gonna be OP on going to the you're going smooth sailing to your next
Uh,
chapters. Basically, I'm still in chapter 2 grinding max stats.
Good.
that's not how you play the game. It's okay.
Just just
I'm
try.
I,
You
I'm
know,
playing
enjoy the
Yakuza
game.
like I'm playing Final Fantasy or any JRPG. Grind it all out before going to
Grind it
main
out.
mission.
Uh,
That's the point of JRPGs anyway, or rather, have fun. Games in
I
Mm.
do,
general.
I
But
do want to say about Mass Effect. The reason why Mass Effect Legendary Edition, I love Mass Effect and I love it to death so much. I will tell people always play it. That said, they took out Miranda's ass shot in Mass Effect 2. I will,
oh,
I will, I will never forgive them for taking away despite the reason why we play and romance Miranda has
just
been
took out
removed.
fan service.
Mass Effect right there. But yeah, yeah. Oh my God, there are actually many re-releases.
Mhm.
I
What's yours?
think my pick would what would be my pick? That's
Right, right.
interesting.
It's crazy. It's a crazy
I
year.
would say that it would be the Yakuza
Mm.
Remastered Collection.
Oh,
We
good,
tend to
good.
the Kiwami 1 and 2 remakes are really great,
Mm-hmm.
but people are kind of craving for what if you at least remaster the rest of the Yakuza series,
Three,
because
four, five.
it's
Yes.
so because they didn't age well. Like Yakuza
No,
games are fun, are great. They look
but they're
the
old.
older ones look great, but when you see how much Sega can do with the amount, with the current tech they have, so
Mm-hmm.
like with the budget, like, oh yeah, I would always say that Yakuza is like the cooler Shenmue.
Mhm.
That's
I was like,
why,
buy them, Microsoft. Just buy them now.
dude. That's why Shenmue for me will always hold a special place because
Yes.
I like Ryo Hazuki. I love the story. That's why I wanted it to continue. I was happy we got Shenmue 3, but I know they could do more. But that's outside of Sega's realm already. With the Yakuza series, I also bought it. I bought the remastered collection, but
Mhm.
I haven't sat down to play it. It's just damn. I
Well,
want to enjoy it. Just not
that
think of
yeah,
anything else. But there's so many other games. I want to sit down and enjoy it.
I
So
think
many.
if I were to play the Yakuza series, that would I would like to I would have to bunker up for maybe a year or half a year, because
Mm.
that would be the only series I'll be playing from start to finish. Um, I
I just
played
want to explore
Kiwami.
Don Quixote in peace. I just want to go to the
Yeah,
Don Quixote store.
like I just want to finish the Tamiya mini game in Kiwami, please. I just
Yeah.
want to win that. I love that. I love how you that's why I think that's why I like that they remastered all of the remaining
Yeah.
Yakuza games, because those deserve a lot of love. They were really underrated. Um
And speaking of remasters, Virtual Fighter 5 this year would not have happened if Sega did not work on putting Virtual Fighter, I believe, in Judgment. If that if
yeah.
Yes.
If it
Oh
wasn't
man,
It's
a
a mini
people,
game. That's right.
yeah,
Mini game. Quote unquote.
people.
Mini game.
Imagine,
it was a full
yeah,
game in Yakuza.
Sega mini games. I would argue have been at the best because technically they aren't mini games, but hey, they
They're
count.
full games. They're
It's the
full
full
games
game,
in a game,
but you're playing a game within a game, which is
right?
bigger.
Yeah. Oh,
What's that mecha game of Sega? I played that on the Yakuza series. I forgot which Yakuza series it is, but
virtual on.
yeah,
Virtual,
that one,
virtual
Virtual
Okay,
on.
On.
virtual on. Oh my
I
god,
enjoyed that
wait.
mini game.
Which Yakuza game has virtual on? Uh
Kiwami too. Kiwami too.
You?
I believe.
Oh, okay, so
oh, so that
it's together
so
with
you
the mini
mean
game toilets where
okay,
you
so I'm no longer playing Kiwami 2. I'm playing virtual on now. Okay. But yeah, I guess this is like the best way to start. We're at the 10 games of the year, and I think we're all gonna start with like a little sizzler, appetizer, and we go to the final picks, personal picks, um, and then we go to the last one. Of course. First off, we get I think this one is here just because of how crazy the reception of this one, how crazy the internet was for it. This is
Yeah.
Resident Evil Village for the PS4, PS5, PlayStations, Xboxes, and the PC. And um Resident Evil 7 was the biggest risk Capcom ever did to Resident Evil.
Hmm.
Like for me, like 4 sure was a risk, but 4 was a result of them trying out different game engines to see which one works. One of the failed game engines turned into Devil May Cry, so it turned out
Exactly.
well. So Resident Evil Village had to do something because Resident Evil 6 was not received well, even though in general it's a solid action title.
It is.
But
It's
then
a
again, people want Resi for survival horror.
mhm.
I mean, I
Before
know
Resi
Resident
4 even,
Evil
the original
was the
survival
more
horror.
action-packed survival horror out of any of the survival horror games
Yes.
always because it has the most guns and ammo you can ever pick up in in a zombie game. But yeah, Resident Evil 7 was the huge risk that
Yes.
paved the way for Resident Evil Village, which became one of the most talked about games of the first half of the year.
Hmm.
Yes.
Of course, Lady Dimitrescu is like a good
It's a big reason.
chunk of that. 2/3, maybe 3/4
Tall
of the
lady. Her name is Tall Lady.
tall
Because they can
vampire
call her
lady.
Or as some members of the internet would say, "Mommy."
mommy.
Yeah.
Mm.
But yeah, despite that, people forget like there's a whole crazy cast of characters in Resident Evil Village.
Mhm.
Um, there are different areas in the game that just
Yes.
they change it changes up it changes up the entire setting. Getting out of Lady Dimitrescu's castle is the first objective, and that's where you get to experience everything else.
That's
And
why
I think, yeah,
they call it pardon me, Neil. They call it Resident Evil Disneyland because of the theme park aspect of going around those different areas.
I would like this horror theme park. but
Exactly. Me
but yeah,
too.
so yeah, Tim, you finished this one.
Yes, I
How
have.
was the experience from start to finish?
Uh, well, every Resident Evil game that comes out, I get the collector's edition, and I have the Chris Redfield statue up there. I don't know if you can see it behind me, and there, along
Mhm.
with Jill and Leon from RE2 remake and RE3 remake.
Mm.
Well, I can say this is definitely better than Resident Evil 3 remake. That's for sure. Uh, but of course, well, if you enjoy the first-person Resi games, and this is like a combination of Resident Evil 7, less the scares, more of the shock and the uh, gung ho Resident Evil 4 style action, because now you have a merchant again, and that's another fan favorite character, the Duke. The
Stranger.
Duke sells you ammo like the merchant from Resident Evil 4. Then you can upgrade your weapons, and there's even a mercenaries mode once you finish the game. Uh, for me, it was fun. It was nice to see Chris Redfield all rugged up, much
Mhm.
older, but not
He's
boulder
actually
punching.
aged now.
Yes, he
Pro-
ages.
probably tired from all that's happening for the
tired
past
from tired
two
from cleaning
decades.
everything up. He's like
For me,
he's basically San Andreas all over again. Oh shit, here we go
we go
again.
again. But he's my favorite character in the franchise ever since the original Resident Evil. So I follow this series because I'm drawn to it. It was what got
Mhm.
me to get a PlayStation, and I will be damned not to follow the sequence of events for that story. I just hope whatever follows after Village. Uh, well, let's
It's
pass
basically
the torch. Let's try something new, right?
Yeah,
Aside from Even Winters.
because this first person Resi has been working well. Like I think putting it into first person just ups the immersion, ups the scare factor a bit.
yeah.
But it reminds me, there were problems with the PC version. Also,
Oh yeah.
there was like a protection code. I don't know if you guys read about that. That caused it to slow down or it bugged whenever you'd face the maidens, the daughters of Lady
I
D.
don't mind
Oh.
it slowing down when he's it's like woo. Just kidding.
Ooh.
Yeah.
But it's not over yet because Capcom did promise that there's a DLC coming.
There's a
We're just
DLC
waiting
for
for more information
especially
on that.
That's cool.
if you
And
finish the game, there
yes,
should be DLC after that. After you
Okay.
nobody is holding their breath for that other free Resident Evil game that came out that got delayed that had all of the characters. I think you know what I'm talking about, right?
oh yeah.
Mhm.
Is that freebie? I forgot what you call
Forgot
it.
what
You can
it's
also
called.
play
I'm
as
so sorry.
That
no no
kind of
it's,
that kind of battle royale Among Us thing that they want to do with it with
Yeah.
the leads.
yeah yeah. It was supposed to come out with Resident Evil Village, but it got delayed and it got delayed. So nobody's holding their breath.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're gonna it's gonna that one's gonna take a long while. But
And
yeah, Resident
anyways,
Evil Village is our first entry into this nice list. Next up, we have another horror thriller experience in
mhm,
the medium. So this is Earl's
The
pick. So
medium.
Earl, the
Yeah.
medium. I think this was an Xbox exclusive first.
it was for
Time
Xbox.
months.
timed exclusive.
Timed
For
Yeah,
few
it was
exclusive.
a
months.
timed exclusive, and then it was released elsewhere. So PS5 and PC
I
now
got it.
gets this.
Another
The
game in
meat.
my backlog list.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, we're gonna talk about backlogs later. But yeah,
Yeah.
the medium is pretty interesting. So
Mhm.
let's go.
So the medium is a game where when it was released, people were looking for games like Silent Hill
Yes.
because there's PT did not happen.
No.
So they
I
call
wish.
medium the closest game on that date that near Silent Hill because it's more on a psychological type of a game, but also the mechanics of having two screens. In most part of the game, you have two screens playing the same characters. Like you have your own alter self on the spirit world. So basically, it's not more on a mainly jump scare type of game. It's like a classic Silent Hill game where it's more on the story. It's a more on the lore and the story. It develops slowly and it has a good overall story if you finish it through. And it
Mhm.
also ends in a cliffhanger, so most likely there will be part two.
Okay,
Okay. Selling
I,
point
I
there
love
is sequel.
cliffhangers.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But the other thing is the game has music composed by Akira Yamaoka. So that's
Mhm. Yeah.
why there's a connection to Silent Hill there.
It's
And on a
beautiful.
technical level, it's brilliant. And from a director's perspective, it's brilliant because never can you play a game.
Side to
On one
side.
hand, it's side to side. It's two different worlds being rendered on one screen in real time, and both experiences are wildly scary and different from one another.
It's
As Earl said, the story is crazy, but then it's the type that just keeps gripping you, and you keeping track of these worlds as you're going into both of them. It's wonderful. It's
Yeah,
wonderful.
I call the way of rendering those parallel worlds a GPU burner because yeah, that's crazy. It's crazy good. The details are wild. So
Makes me hope
yeah.
that we will have split screen co-op in this generation again. Maybe, maybe.
Maybe.
Well, one game kind of
There is
proved
one
that
game.
it can
That's
exist.
true.
So there's hope for
There's
that.
hope. Yeah.
I
There's
mean,
hope.
uh,
Okay. Uh-huh.
no, no. I was gonna say, aside from the medium, for those who are looking for consolation, classic survival horror, there's also Tortured Souls.
Hmm.
Oh yeah. Tortured
Tortured
Souls.
Souls.
Really cool. They're always, but yeah, Silent Hill likes, yeah, we need more survival horror in the next
Sora may
That's
have mentioned something in the Game Awards. He's
yeah.
like,
That's why
maybe.
Guillermo mentioned something.
yeah.
And here's the thing: the rumor mill is that this might be the thing that Kojima is working on with Xbox. We don't know if it's a thing,
We
but
don't know yet. We need an
Hopefully.
announcement.
Please
If it's true
next
with
please
year,
Xbox, if
Keely,
it's true with
bring
please,
it,
Xbox, damn
bring
it.
it.
please give us something. Give us
Yeah,
something. Kojima is bound to
Kojima,
Kojima is
yeah.
bound to announce
No,
something.
no
He
one's gonna
is,
stop him. No one's gonna stop him. If he
yeah, I
can't make
mean
Silent Hill, he'll make his own Silent Hill.
he has the budget of the entire of Sony Computer Entertainment at his wallet.
Well,
I think
it's
yes.
it's iffy. It's iffy. Sony helped him start, but we don't know where
Yeah.
he's going because
Yeah, but
there's
yeah,
fallout. Yeah,
Kojima Studios at least gets the blessing of the biggest devs. So
anyone,
biggest
Dude,
anyone
publishers.
would be happy.
he opened his own movie production
Yeah,
thing
So
recently.
yeah.
yeah, so
Because
he's
he's like,
gonna enjoy a lot of stuff there, and I really
people
hope
will throw
they,
money at him.
yeah,
Exactly.
just throw money. He'll make something.
Yeah,
He'll make something beyond your imagination, literally, because I've, even Metal Gear
Freaking
Solid games
Kojima.
surprised
yeah.
me.
Surprised. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, let's go. Next one, our second our third entry is my personal pick, and it's a little game called Eastward. I
Yeah.
know
Ooh.
games are a lot of games this year, a lot of the big AAA games are, huge budget, massive worlds, high level visuals. But imagine that all those games that were released, and what won me over is a pixel art RPG
Yes.
that looks like Earthbound
Yes.
and Mother 3.
Yes.
Mm,
And
You know what it reminds me of? Do you remember the old Game Boy Advance games, the Legacy of Goku games
mm.
uh-huh.
that were they were basically the same way. You went around the Dragon Ball world and you were like Goku fighting like this, and you just press it's the same. It's the same art style. It's amazing. So it's like
Yeah.
pixel art.
Oh my god, this game, I think I was curious. I was looking for a game that I would like to play, I was thinking, hey, I would let's look at the indie titles this year. Let's look at some of the ones on Steam. And then I stumbled upon this one. I looked hard. I looked hard at this game. I was looking at the trailer. Um and watching it made me feel warm inside because it reminded me of Mother 3. Like,
Mhm.
I love how beautiful that game is and
Yeah.
how sad that game story is
Oh
for how
yeah.
bright it looks. And it kind of reminded me of that. And when I played it, yeah, it's that. It's the same. It's almost the same degree of Mother series levels
Yeah.
of bright
Same.
but bleak. And
Yeah.
it's so good though.
Mhm.
One thing I like about it, I think it's the amongst the games listed here, it's the simplest in terms of
Yes.
mechanics. It's so simple. The it's not really gonna it's not gonna challenge you completely. But the thing is, it's the setting, it's the characters. Like they build up the world you're traveling into. Each area you go to, you have people you care about, and the whiplash of the events that happen there, the basically slamming the door in front of your face.
Yeah.
You make you
Feel it.
want to sure you want to guarantee that it never happens.
Mhm.
And that I think that's what drives the game to
Mhm.
be that's what drives Eastward story. You know,
Yeah.
it had a lot, it has a lot of heart. And oh yeah, the soundtrack is catchy. It's from one of the guys who composed it. The main composer for it also was part of the composer team in Halo Infinite. So you know, crazy,
Yeah.
crazy catchy pixel music. And then yeah, the pixel art graphics. Damn,
I always describe it to people as if Gravity Falls was in pixel art, this is the art style.
that's it. Yeah, it's pretty. It's close on the mark. And yeah, I enjoy this game to that. There's a reason why I spent hours on this. Just I think I spent like 2 straight weeks. After work, I played this at least a couple of hours just to get through everything. And
Yes.
even though it's a relatively easygoing game in terms of difficulty,
Hmm.
it's just the
Story
adventure,
gets you.
the journey beats out everything. The
Yes.
entire journey just wins over.
Mhm.
And also worth noting, it's this one has an RPG within an RPG, and that's what I love about it. The title of the RPG in question is Earthborn, which
Or
is yeah, this is totally not Earthbound slash Dragon Quest. So, but yeah, I like it. This is the tiny, maybe the tiniest title on this list in
Mhm.
terms of in terms of scale and budget. It's and maybe even file size. It's barely 2 gig. It's
What?
barely 2 gigs. Yeah, it's I can't believe that it didn't even rack up to didn't even rack up to 3, because I think it's still a sizable game. You know, pixel art is still heavy,
yeah,
especially with the amount of detail that they
yeah, it
showed
depends on what
in
kind of
each.
pixel art that you're rendering.
Yeah. Also, I would like to just drop a mention for another pixel art game called Unpacking, which
Yeah,
is pretty cool.
yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Jude, have you heard
yes,
Fantasian
Fantasian,
By Miss
please.
Walker?
This Walker.
Miss
Oh
Walker
no!
Corporation.
Oh,
It's
oh
a
no!
diorama. It's like Eastward also, but the map is based on the diorama scale.
Oh no! Oh no! This is the. Oh no! Is this?
Sadly, it's only for Apple and their iOS
iOS,
counterparts.
yeah. Basically,
Well, that's fine.
I
like
Apple could use a nice
Apple
little
Plus.
could use
Was that
a
Apple
nice little
Plus or
game
something?
for
Yeah.
themselves. And oh yeah, this one I was eyeing at this,
I
but since
saw
I
that.
don't have
I
an
saw
Apple device.
I saw
Mhm.
it in the advertisement on the Apple TV when I opened the Apple TV. And I
Hmm.
was when I saw Miss Walker, I always remember Blue Dragon and the
Mhm.
Lost Odyssey.
Yeah. Too bad I
Oh
don't. Too bad I don't want to subscribe to it.
Yeah, too
yeah,
bad. Me also.
I'm an
yeah.
Apple
I
user,
mean,
but
App,
I don't engage in
yeah,
those because I'm trying other things.
I got Game
yeah.
Pass. If it ain't on Game Pass, it ain't for me.
Apple, you're doing well on the gaming department, but
But
yeah,
the
we're sorry.
phones, but the phones, you're doing good with the
Yeah,
phones.
they're having their own niche there. It's pretty
Yeah.
cool. And then from one RPG, you know, we there's it's this
There's
list
so
is
much.
RPG dominated. Next up we have Shin Megami Tensei 5.
Of course,
Um, you know, Shin Megami Tensei has been a wild ride. Also
Mhm.
jumping platform to platform. Shin Megami Tensei 3, the original was a PS2 title. Shin Megami Tensei 4 was DS or 3DS?
3DS.
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 And there's two
Um,
ver- there's two yeah, there's a couple of Shin Megami Tensei 4s on
Hmm.
3DS.
oh, but yeah, Shin Megami Tensei has always been the series that's pretty unique. You know, it's helped spawn Persona,
of
Digital Devil
course.
Saga, Devil Summoner,
Summoner.
and if it weren't for Shin Megami Tensei, we wouldn't have uh, an entire universe of games to
Yeah.
enjoy. And
Doing a good job, Atlas.
yeah, I love that Shin
Atlas
Megami
is
Tensei
killing it.
5 picked the Switch as well. You
This
know,
one will this
Nintendo.
one will not exist without Shin Megami Tensei.
Yeah, see?
Mm.
That's
Fire
one thing.
Emblem.
Shin Megami Tensei is on the Switch, and it's fun to see an RPG exclusively
Mhm.
on the Nintendo console, because there was one time in like a few decades ago where the only place where you can get the best RPGs is on a Nintendo system. So that's kind
Yeah,
of nostalgic on that part.
actually, all the best RPGs are usually on a Nintendo handheld. Tactics was on
To be fair,
handheld.
to be fair,
Devil Summoner, and a lot of other RPGs uh, were on handheld. The
handheld
only place
RPGs are
Fire
people.
That
Emblem.
it's perfect because if you need to take it
Fire
on the
Emblem
go, play, go.
was
Yeah. To be fair, our handheld RPGs are one of the most slept upon
yeah,
games in anywhere. Um, GBA is an RPG machine,
yes.
one way or another, and people forget that. And we have Shin Megami Tensei 5 to remind everyone that playing an RPG on a handheld console is something
So
that's worth
possible.
playing. And Earl, so this is your pick.
Hmm.
What do you like, or what? Well, yeah, what's there to love in Shin Megami Tensei?
Let's go first with the battle system. So their battle system is a bit unique compared to the Persona battle system because as Shin Megami Tensei games and Persona, there's a weakness and critical bonus to you yourself when you hit it to the enemy. The Shin Megami Tensei 5, the enemy can also have that benefits also. So if they land a critical hit or hit your weakness, they can have attacks
Bonuses? No.
bonuses. They can
Mhm.
attack you again after that. So imagine if they can succeed in multiple criticals. If you have an enemy of one, so it's okay. But if your enemy is it's at least three or four, they can team wipe you in just
Uh-huh.
basically one round. One round. So let's go aside from the battle system. I like the story of the lore where each demons has their own stories, that their stories are not just flavor text to the background that was presented to them. So not
Oh god.
putting too much spoilers, each demon slash gods has an affinity with each another. So Norse mythology, Japanese gods, or other types of gods. So basically they all have their own stories and their own reasons why the post-apocalyptic Japan scenario in that game is present. And also with the DLC, I think it shows the Shin Megami 3. I think the Devil Summoner.
Mhm.
The,
Mm-hmm.
the main character is in the DLC. It's your opponent, and they also gave a bit of fan service to those people who makes theories or whatsoever that the Shin Megami Tensei lore or everything including Persona is just entirely one plot, because
What?
that DLC shows that there are four pale riders that tells you they are part of a different universe with different characters that they deal with, and they came to check if you are like eligible to fight the demifiend, which is the devil summoner. So basically it's also a fan service that to shows that maybe it's a nudge or a hint that the next iteration of Shin Megami, it can have a multiverse type of storyline or some sort. So you can hope to see that maybe.
Oh man. Shin Megami Tensei. Yeah, I would say that Shin Megami Tensei is the grindier, no,
Yeah,
grindier of all its peers, of all its.
yeah. It's the most technical of everything that came out of
Yeah,
Atlus. So yeah,
it's the.
it
I remember my friends at work where they were playing Shin Megami Tensei 3 and now they're playing 5. Yeah, it's like a grind fest of a game. It's like hell to get through. I mean, they're demons, yeah, sure, but yeah, it's pretty.
I always put Shin Megami Tensei as it's the more badass, grittier brother of Digimon, because it has
Oh
basically the
yeah,
same
feels like
mechanics,
it.
right? Where you make
Shin
monster.
Megami Tensei. Oh my god, it's on the Switch and it's fun. Um yeah, it's a game of the year candidate. It's late in the year. It released
It's very
November,
late.
right? It's a November
Yeah.
release, and I think that's what I love about this year. It's just every month has has a solid
That's the
game.
thing. For all
There,
for
you
all
know,
consoles, all consoles generally have something to play with. Yeah.
yeah, there's something to look forward to for every system.
Mm.
Um, and that's the best part. And next up, we have Guardians of the Galaxy.
Booyah!
And
Oh,
Booyah!
uh, this this was
awesome.
this Guardians of the Galaxy was Square Enix, right?
Yes,
Uh,
with
yeah, it
Eidos
was it
Okay,
was
Montreal.
it was Eidos Montreal, but it was published by
Eidos
Square
Montreal.
Enix.
okay, it was Square Enix published game, but yeah, Guardians of the Galaxy. I mean, coming off from Avengers, you were kind of scared.
Of
Yeah,
course, under the same publisher, but it turned out to be good.
and
Yeah,
they
it's
had the
great.
same. And here's the thing: they had the same cringy, in your face visuals. Oh, we're gonna be like the MCU, but not really. We're gonna be our own thing, and everyone's like,
Yeah,
oh,
right.
they're trying to make their own thing. And you play through it, and suddenly, holy shit, this is sticking so close to the comics. It is hewing so close to the Dan Abnett and Lanning run in the comics, and
Oh
it
man.
has like one of the most legendary 25 issue comic book runs in Guardians of the Galaxy history ever. It's why they were so popular in recent years because of that run. Like James Gunn owes a lot of his Guardians from that thing
Mhm.
visually, and this takes a lot from that as well. Really cool.
Guardians
Yeah.
of the
There,
Galaxy.
as Neil said, there you go. I mean, much of mainstream Marvel fans or people who watch the MCU know the Guardians because of that film. But
Hmm.
Mhm.
there, without, I mean, look at Hawkeye now. We owe it
Mm.
to Matt Fraction and David Aja's run for
Mhm.
having those aesthetics there. The logo itself, right, Neil, you watch it too.
Right,
So
right. And the best thing about the Guardians of the Galaxy is that it's a fun game.
right.
You totally get the gist of all of the characters. They all have fantastic arcs, and it has a Mass Effect light system where your choice does matter. So
Hmm.
takes bits and bobs from the best. Like it takes stuff from action heavy stuff like DMC. It takes stuff from other. It doesn't do anything unique onto the table, but it's so well put as a package that you can't help but enjoy the ride that Idis Montreal puts you on.
Oh wow,
It,
no
it's
complaint, no arguments there, no
it's
arguments.
the same way as Marvel Avengers. Marvel Avengers took everything from every beat 'em up game, but then it was kind of generic. But then Idis
Yeah,
Montreal, same thing. They took everything but packaged it in such a way that it's fun. I think that's what the Marvel Avengers game lacked. Whereas Marvel Avengers had a great story. It had a great story, mind you. It was great. But then,
Mm,
was it fun to play? First few levels. The first level was fun when you were saving San Francisco. After that
of
was a
course,
slugfest.
yes.
Guardians of the Galaxy from start to finish, you were enjoying everyone's banter. You were enjoying, oh, what crap am I gonna do now?
Uh, I
And
think
yeah,
I think we also have to point out the fact that unlike Avengers, they did not concentrate on the DLC or the microtransactions and the
yeah,
multiplayer aspect because they just wanted to tell a good single player
story
adventure
was a
story.
priority.
That,
True.
that's the thing. Like Spider-Man, Insomniac just threw it in for Peter Parker and Miles Morales in a self-contained single-player experience
It
world.
also answered big questions about are they all in the same universe, that sort of thing. So yeah, it's
yeah.
great stuff. If you're an eagle-eyed fan of the gaming universe, you'll have your answers. If you're a fan of Marvel in general,
Yes,
it's a great title to play through. You have
Yeah.
to
very good pick.
get it.
Very
Yeah.
good pick.
I think yeah, this ranks up as one of the best superhero games out there, and yeah, Guardians of the Galaxy. Also, Marvel on the superhero side of things, superhero video game side. I think DC has the upper hand because the Arkham games are immaculate
But here's the thing: we haven't seen a Batman game in years, and now
in
Marvel's
a
finally.
while. So yeah,
And Marvel, outside of the Avengers, have been doing pretty good. Ultimate Alliance
yes.
3 was fantastic. Marvel Spider-Man, no question, is great.
Oh
And then you
man,
have,
Spider
and then
Man.
you have, and then you have Wolverine on the horizon, Spider-Man 2, and then Guardians of the Galaxy worked out really well.
Yeah,
So I'm excited though for DC with Wonder Woman because it's by Monolith.
Oh
We're
god,
gonna
it
have
all
a
it
Nemesis system. Wonder Woman.
Nemesis system on a superhero game that fits, and then Suicide Squad looks fun. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah,
I know all you have to do in
Mm-hmm.
Suicide Squad is to just give all the action, make the action as
yeah,
smooth as possible, and make it
yeah.
as crazy as
Make
you
it back
can.
for blood, but Suicide Squad, it'll sell.
Make it just make it crazy, and you I guess we'll all be fine. You know, it's not gonna ruin
They
anything. So
finally broke out of Batman games.
oh yeah, I was so happy to see them not. I don't see
Uh,
Batman. Batman
yes.
is not there. I think
I mean, Gotham Knights is on the horizon, but finally,
I think
hey, we're
I
doing
know Gotham.
more.
Yeah, Gotham Knights would happen, but hey, at least they're kind of out of Batman. With
Yeah,
it's like their
yeah.
big break away from Batman.
I'd be interested if they with Wonder Woman they start a gaming verse where they have the Arkham Batman and then you have the Wonder Woman from this one coming up. Are we finally gonna get a Superman game? A
Oh
good
yeah, well yeah, Superman games. I mean, I know that the world
yeah,
has trauma from previous Superman
yeah,
games. But yeah, that would be fine.
yeah.
So yeah, um, hey, let's
Good.
go.
Can you hear me?
We
Yes.
can't hear you,
Oh
buddy.
yeah, yeah, we can see and hear you.
Yeah.
So just in
So
case.
yeah, I have lost visual.
Oh, it's fine. Oh yeah. Well, for now, I think
It'll
it
pop
would be
back.
fine. Or unless you can.
It's very refreshing. So
Yeah. So,
Right. But yeah,
all right.
Guardian was great. Play it if you
Yeah,
can.
Guardians is a masterpiece of that. Oh yeah.
Also, hey Martin P, welcome, welcome. Yeah, there was a bit of
Oh yeah.
feedback.
There was feedback on that one, but hey, we're back and
I'm back.
we're
Yeah.
here.
Thank you. Good. Good.
Right?
But I
And then
heard you guys about Wonder Woman and the Converse. Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely. Definitely.
God, they need to do that. They
They
have
need
to
to
do
do that.
that. And
they have that opportunity for it.
yeah. Next up we have my another personal pick of mine. My second one is
Ooh.
Ruin King, a League of
Ruin
Legends
King.
story
Oh yeah.
for the PS4, Xbox One, Switch, and PC. Interesting that it's on the PS4 and Xbox One and not on the new gen consoles
I
yet.
mean,
I mean, I
I
know backwards compatibility solves all that. I think. I
Of
guess.
no,
course.
they're actually releasing. They haven't worked on the next gen patch for it yet, but it is going to be on next gen. It's just
Oh,
that
okay.
it is meant for next gen. It's just that they're taking a while with it, the same way that Disco Elysium took a while till they were able to get. Because Disco Elysium launched on PlayStation, PS4, right? It launched on PS4, but it took them days to get the next gen upgrade to happen because
Yeah, took a
happening.
while.
So it took a while
So
for them
yeah.
for that to happen. So it's gonna be the same thing. So
Mm.
keep in touch. Also, they have to make it scalable because if they want it on Switch, they gotta make it for PS4 and Xbox, or else it ain't gonna run on the Switch.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So yeah, for Ruin King, it's a shadow drop game. You
Yes,
know,
we
Riot
knew about it.
decided that
We knew
yeah,
about it. It's just we didn't know when it was gonna
yeah.
stop.
I remember. I think when I was watching Arcane, the first 3 episodes of Arcane, I was talking about. I suddenly remembered. Wait, Ruin King is was announced, right? And then I looked at the trailer. It was like 8 months ago, and then I was looking. When will they ever release this? They haven't mentioned anything. And then on the second act of Arcane, and they released that on Netflix,
Yeah,
they shadow dropped it like a couple of days after, and like, hey, hello, this is we have a new RPG game incoming, and
Nintendo had
also
a direct. Nintendo had a direct with Arcane and
yeah,
that.
they had a direct for it, and then we also have a rhythm game. So like it's a nice
Yeah,
pleasant surprise for Riot, and
yeah.
I
They're
think
planning out. They're gonna kill. They're gonna kill everyone. Blizzard,
yeah.
you're gonna be dead.
Yeah, what I love about how Riot does things, they all release it when everything is well cooked already in a way.
When they're ready,
Valorant was a project that they started in like 2015.
yeah,
They've been reworking that for so long, and when it was ready in 2020, it was already great. It was already working well. They just,
and now
of
it's
course,
blown up.
the usual grind of the usual cycle of patching things up every now and
Yep.
then. That's the life cycle of a multiplayer
Yeah.
game. And
Yes.
then we get Ruin King, which is from the guys who made Darksiders Genesis.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
Night Chasers Battle War.
And it has the same visual
Right.
style. It has the same gameplay elements, but
Battle
still had
Chasers
the same.
Battle Chasers Night War. Yeah.
Yeah,
I get
it had the
right.
same, but it still looked like League of Legends. So that was one
Yeah.
thing.
Right.
If you're playing on PC, you can do the right click to move the character to a certain location. The right click, the MOBA, the League of Legends control there is right there. Although right now I'm playing it on controller, because it feels more stable.
Same.
The keybinds are just cramping my hands there. But yeah, Ruin King is a fully fledged RPG. You think that, hey, is Ruin King just a tie-in RPG, like a DLC for extra lore piece that wouldn't take long? No, Ruin King is like a full like 20 to 40 hour RPG experience where it has one of the more interesting combat schemes this year. It's
Yes.
a turn-based RPG that feels like Final Fantasy X. I forgot what's their system called there, but yeah, the sequencing is a turn-based. It's turn-based, but it's based on a queue system that's
How
determined by
powerful do you want to hit? Yeah. How
yeah
powerful do you want your stuff to hit? If do you want
yeah
it,
Yes.
do you want to go ahead
Yes.
of the turn? You'll hit weaker. If you want to go more powerful, you're gonna go later in the
yeah.
turn.
The lane system is fun.
It's great.
So even though I just go the normal lane usually, but yeah, the power lane and speed lane just add extra dimensions to the gameplay.
Especially
Speed
if you want
and
to buff and debuff stuff, you'd have to
also
figure out. You'd have to
yeah
figure out
yeah
shit.
like you have to do a combo of two lanes to debuff someone to dispel something. There's a lot of strategy to it. I
Yes.
Yeah.
like I like how it makes you think, because if you go jump in straightforward, just bash the enemy using the same set of skills, you can get destroyed if
And
you
you
don't pay
have to think.
attention.
You have to think. And if you're a LoL player, you have to think. Oh, am I gonna play support? The support player does it go? Does it go ahead or does it
Yeah,
go? You have to
Right.
think of. You have to think of laning, as it were.
That's the third.
yeah.
Yeah.
What I like about all the Riot properties that they released related to League of Legends is
Mhm.
that they kept the League of Legends DNA there.
Yeah.
Of course, Wild Rift is basically a mobile version of League of Legends. Runeterra is a card game version of League of Legends.
But it's amazing in how they've put
Yeah,
its mechanics
yeah,
in.
like the
Holy
the
crap!
fact that you're still breaking the nexus in the card game. It's great.
And
And then you
Project
get
L is
yeah,
gonna be
and then you get the same. You get some of the same systems in Ruin King.
yeah.
The champion abilities are the same. The visual is the same. The way you move around the map is at least feels like a League, but you're in an RPG. So that's great. Apart from that, the story is great. It's all about it features Misfortune in a lead role somewhat, and then you have Ilawi Pike, Yasuo and Ari there, and Braum.
And Brown, the most Chads of Chads.
I call him. He reminded me of Alex Armstrong from Full
So
Metal
he,
Alchemist.
because he pretty much is.
Same
Yeah.
lovable big guy, lovable bruiser type of
Man,
character.
in a
Wholesome.
way, tried to take a shot at Alex Arm. Was like, no, the Chad.
I'll bet they'll have an inter-universe handshake at some point. But yeah, Ruin King is such a great game. The story is fully fleshed out.
It's great.
Everything else, it's all it's a I love how it feels.
Lol.
It's a game that stands on its own.
Mm-hmm.
It's the music reminded me of Witcher 3, so that's a plus.
Mm-hmm.
It reminded me of actually like maybe Gwent music when I was playing Gwent. So
Yeah.
that was something I enjoyed.
Mm-hmm.
And what I like about it is it's challenging.
Yes.
It's challenging. Like sure you think that it's you think that Riot didn't develop too much to make an RPG, but no, they went
Oh,
all out for that. Like, no,
they
this
put
is a
care.
complete experience. Like, we're not gonna skimp on the details. We're gonna make sure that this is something that's playable and worthy of being not just a simple side story.
Yes. It's not a cash grab either.
Yeah, it's not a cash grab. Like
They
it's
really are
not like
building the world. They really
it's
are
not like
building.
an RPG. They just threw in, hey, this is an RPG based on our IP.
Yes.
And instead, they presented this is a complete experience based on
And
our
people
IP.
and people have been asking for this because not a lot of people will be playing MOBAs. Not a lot of people will be playing.
Yeah,
But people who watch Arcane or who experience LOL or Runeterra for the first time through the show finally have another avenue. Like, oh, I've always seen this on YouTube, but I never could play this. But now
they're,
I have something for me, and in the future they'll be making more of these things, and that's
they're
wonderful.
gonna make a fighting game too, so that's
Yeah,
Yeah,
really
really.
crazy.
Project L, and the whole fighting game community is hyped for it. Me too.
Yeah,
So
I
I'm
like how I think my friends who are fighting game enthusiasts
Mhm.
when they looked at
Hello.
how the upcoming Project L, I think that's what it's
Mhm.
called,
Project L, yeah, like
yeah, was working on the initial footage they saw. Yeah, it was smooth. They you know they spent like at least 4 years, 3 years, 3 to 5
yeah,
years cooking this up to make sure
have a
that
proof of concept. Yeah,
it's a
that's
proper fighting game that's not like half baked. I love that they're not half baking things. Even their rhythm game is it's pretty
yeah.
fun. It's interesting.
It's like, man, I love it so much, and it's Ziggs like, let's go blow up the town. It's
It's
fun.
beautiful. But yeah, Riot is on a roll, and Ruin King is one of their best games around.
Mhm.
Riot
And they're still
Forge,
gonna get
and
better.
thank God for Airship Syndicate for bringing us like a different way to experience League of Legends without having to actually play League of Legends.
Or Wild Rift or any of those games
So
for
many
that
op.
matter.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there's so many things. Technically Valorant is somehow linked to League of Legends. So if you want an FPS, that's there.
like, oh, I wouldn't be surprised if somewhere down the line they actually make an Overwatch, but it's League.
Yeah.
They
Uh
could
Uh,
totally play that.
anyway,
speaking
our next
of
entry,
Overwatch, let's have a
we're
Overwatch.
like we're halfway. We're halfway there.
Well done,
And
halfway through.
Well done.
um yes, our next entry is a little racing game called Forza Horizon 5.
There we go.
And
Somebody
in a
should put
world where Gran Turismo gets delayed half a decade more, for Microsoft has shown that hey, we can make a racing game consistently with great visuals and very enjoyable gameplay and still make every edition worth buying,
Oh yeah,
right.
we're not
because Forza
okay.
Horizon
Very
5 is
cycle
just
stuff.
holy crap. It's the most beautiful
Uh,
it's arguably the most beautiful racing game yet.
Thinking, yeah, and
Um
even on past generation, even if you play it on Xbox Series S, it
mm.
is it runs smoothly. It runs fantastic. The scalability that Microsoft did with this game is bananas. It's wonderful.
it's still beautiful. Forza Horizon has always been my
It's always been
has
beautiful.
always been I don't have an Xbox, but whenever I see a Forza game,
Yeah.
I just stare and then admire, like, wow, this is what you can do in a racing game. And I know Forza is in between the arcade and simulation aspect, so
Yeah.
that's one thing I like about it. The reason why Forza is now more successful than Gran Turismo is because it has the option to you can play it casually.
You can play
and
it. But
that's what makes it great. That's what makes it better,
what
in my
makes it
opinion
ugly,
already.
especially the Horizon franchise, is that it's for one, in the time of COVID, it's practically all the Horizon games are virtual tourism for anyone who plays it. You
Oh
want to go to
yeah, yeah.
Europe right now, play Forza Horizon 4. You want to go to Latin America and Mexico, go to Forza Horizon 5. And what's wonderful about it is that you want to live out your Fast and the Furious lifestyle of just drifting
For
and just driving
family.
around. This
Yeah,
is
Travel.
drift for
Family.
family,
For
everyone. So that's
family.
really cool.
basically, you know how Midnight Club filled that
Yeah,
for everyone
still
back
that
then.
gap.
It's Forza.
Yes.
Forza just slid into that slot, but if you still want to be a pro racer about it, a lot of pro racing streamers constantly play Forza Horizon with
Yeah,
Thrustmasters and all their rigs
it's
because
so
it's so
fun. Oh my god, Trustmaster on a car game.
on a casual car game, supposedly, right?
I mean, it's worth the experience, I guess. Yeah, Forza Horizon is
And the worlds that they make are beautiful. It's fantastic, and
I
the racing games
guess
are fun too.
Forza is arguably the best racing series right
It is
now.
the it is the best
Um,
sports series right now.
yeah, I think one game that would come close to it at times would be the F1 games, which has been
Yeah,
they really committed to making
yeah,
F1
Codemasters. Yeah,
an e-racing, a complete e-racing simulation. So that's one thing that's at least that's going well. But yeah, Forza Horizon 5, the quintessential Xbox racing game, and
yes,
uh,
and it
They keep on promoting it.
yeah,
yeah, and they kind of took
Every
Gran
time.
Turismo's wings 3 games ago.
it's so beautiful.
Yeah.
I just wanna enjoy this.
And if you guys want to play it, it is on Xbox
Game
Game Pass
Pass.
on
Ah,
PC or anything. If you don't have an Xbox, get it on Game Pass. If you want to get an Xbox, it's free on Game Pass.
If you
So
have both, get Ultimate Game Pass.
so either way, if you're
Neil
on
will
P if
always
you're on
promote it.
PC or Xbox, you win.
Yeah, well,
I will never stop promoting people saving money
Of
because
course.
I had to do that too.
It's very no, and
but
you're
yeah,
right. That's why
Forza
that's why
Horizon
there is this
5
thing
is
called
the best
Project
racing game right now.
Spartacus that's coming,
Mhm.
right? The rumor.
Sorry.
Ah, the Sony Game Pass counterpart.
Oh yeah, there. That's another thing. But hey,
Uh,
but
The
hey,
Eh,
they're
question
kind of
is, can Sony release it day one on their Game Pass counterpart?
they
Will
don't want
they
hey,
to
do
put
it?
money on the table,
they
but
can just drop. They
that's
can
a
just
different
drop it
episode.
tomorrow.
Yeah,
Well, but they're. I don't know. They're probably still. I don't know what concern they have of not making it, but hey, yeah, that's up to them.
that's up to
um,
it. It's their
Next
money.
up
that's
we
a different
have
episode,
another. Uh huh.
guys. We're going off track. That's for a different episode.
Yeah,
That's
that's
very
for a different time.
he's correct. He's correct.
Yeah. Okay. Now our next entry is I think this is I would call this the comeback of the year.
Oh yeah,
Comeback of the decade maybe. This is it's been 27 years since this game had a proper main console experience,
yeah.
side scrolling. And this is Metroid Dread for the Nintendo
The dark
Switch. And
Yes.
horse, the
Yay.
dark horse of
finally,
GEEKYJUANS.
like,
Finally.
holy crap, finally it appeared on a mainline Nintendo console. I know Metroid Prime was great, but people wanted the classic Metroid experience on the Wii
It's
at
right
least,
here.
or the Wii U.
It's right here.
It's right on the Switch now.
It's right
Yeah,
Um
on the Switch. Let me
you
see.
know, for the past decade, while Nintendo was thinking of how do we make the next Metroid game, Metroidvania has been a genre that has kind of
yeah.
exploded, especially in the indies.
And I'm so
You
happy that
have
Bloodstain
Yeah,
fills that spot.
we had Bloodstain, which filled the Castlevania Metroid
Yeah,
gap. We had
Iga-san.
Axiom
I was happy
Verge, which is
to know about copy.
yeah. We had Hollow Knight.
Hollow
We
Knight.
had Dead Cells.
It was lovely.
there's so many Metroidvanias to recommend that it's you know, seeing Metroid Dread coming back after all of that and still succeeding, proving
Yeah,
that this is the experience. This is the Metroid of Metroidvania.
Classic
And
Metroid, dude. This is the
yeah,
thing that
it's
Prime
what
Prime
I
was
got, what
nice
I like
about.
about it is that it's a modern take on the old school formula of Metroid. It's
Yes.
still side
and,
scrolling, and
it's scary. It's scary as hell.
yeah,
It's Dead Space, but Metroidvania. I'm
I
like,
think I
holy
think
crap!
they
Metroidvania. Right.
I think they put it in the same vibe as like Metroid Fusion. Metroid
Metroid,
Fusion was
yeah,
the closest to a horror
or yeah.
Metroid before Dread, but yeah, God, it's a horror game. But yeah,
But
It
this
is
one,
a
Metroid.
it's not. But it's not horror because it's screwed up. It's more of you're gonna die if you don't move.
oh,
Run for your life.
and those things will kill
You
you
gotta
in an
use
instant, and that's
yeah. You gotta use everything in your arsenal to live, and that's where, and the soundtrack, the music that comes with it when it when you're on, it's like, holy crap!
it
You gotta go.
immerses you,
It's a
especially
fun pumping.
playing it. If you're
Mm.
playing it mobile and you Bluetooth, thank God you put the Bluetooth option for the older Switch to put the earphones, the buds on.
Oh
When you
yeah,
play that, like yourself in that game, I got it. I enjoy the visuals. It's fast. It's fluid. Uh, and Samus, even though a veteran here, it's like you have to start from scratch. Literally, when
Yeah.
you land on that planet and you begin your journey, you work attention, right?
Kind of like Master Chief in Halo Infinite.
but yeah, yeah, well, a
It's great.
comeback for Metroid though.
Yeah. Tim, we're losing you a bit.
Oh,
Are we losing Tim?
sorry.
Mhm.
Connection bad? Can
Yeah.
you hear me?
Yeah,
There you go. You're back.
there we go.
Here,
All right.
Yes.
Continue.
So,
can hear you guys.
yep.
There you go. Got you. Honestly, everybody was a game with
Yeah. All right.
All right. All right. Thanks, Tim. Sorry, internet. The
there.
internet was cutting you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a Metroid
Yeah,
might
I
have
can hear you.
invaded our
Right, yeah.
connection right now. I'm sad.
So now you see me?
Yeah, we're good.
Yes, we
Hello?
are here.
I'm here.
Yeah.
All
So
good. All good. All good. All good, Tim.
all good.
Yeah. Okay. So
Okay.
yeah, of all the Nintendo Switch titles, I think the Nintendo Switch is a nice little machine that
Mm.
has spawned a couple of classics already, and Metroid Dread is just an addition there, and I'm just happy to see Samus again. Get proper
Me too.
treatment.
Me too.
Yeah, because yeah, she has not experienced a proper Metroid game in a long time,
Yeah.
and
It might be
Metroid
the
Prime.
last one.
Wait,
Yeah. It might
Yeah,
be the last one. Sadly.
it would be well if it would be the last classic Metroid game, that would still it's a great high note to end on. And
Yes.
hey, Metroid Prime 4 is still happening, even though that one is in some development hell.
It
Uh,
will. It will show up. We believe. We believe.
it will happen at some
I mean
point. Hey,
that
Metroid Dread happened.
with that thing is being hyped a lot of the Wild too. So I guess they're prepared
Oh yeah,
for these games.
they haven't announced anything about those two games, so I think they'll drop it at some Nintendo Direct, and we'll just be all happy for it.
But at least we've seen Breath of the Wild too. Metroid
Yeah.
Prime 4.
Yes.
All we need for Breath of the Wild 2 is a proper title, and then
It's a
we're
title, really.
hyped.
Because they're getting ready to release it along. They want to release it 2020. That's why 2022 will be insane. Because
Oh
God of
God,
War
2022
Horizon starts. It's
is
Oh my
the
God. We still have a lot of games.
remember when I said 2021 felt like 2014 all over again?
yeah.
Yeah.
2015 was the year where, Witcher 3,
Witcher
Metal Gear
3.
Solid 5 just
Arkham
dropped,
Knight,
and it was
Arkham Knight,
Bloodborne.
PS5.
Yeah, it's a similar year to
Mm.
that, and we're all happy for all systems actually doing their own thing, and it's so fun to see. Even the indies, like this year is the year I focused on indie games a lot,
Indies. They finally got
and
really
it's so
Mm.
fun. Little games with heart that they have unique mechanics, and that's what I
yes.
think that's what draws me uh to them, and especially that they're smaller scale. I tend to enjoy them in short bursts and just
Yeah.
oh, this is a story that I'll enjoy. Speaking of stories, our next one is Tales of Arise, and
Uh,
the best RPG in the Game Awards this year. I think Tales of Arise is a 90s RPG that's modernized heavily. It's like it feels like it was remade from something, but it's not.
yes, not, no.
It's an action RPG. It's the storyline feels like a SNES RPG. That's how
Yes.
I feel. It's
It's
like
an
the Super
oh
Nintendo
no,
RPG.
it's an SSRPG, but with the
Yeah,
complex
like
mechanics.
whenever I watch the dialogue, whenever I play the game and explore, I feel like if this were 16-bit, this wouldn't be any different.
Yeah,
Because there's the high fantasy, there's a bit of sci-fi, and
yeah,
that's what
yeah.
the Super Nintendo RPG sometimes uh, has.
Sometimes,
So the crazy plot twists, the bleak, the many people would die aspect.
yeah,
um and of course the well-designed enemies, the well-designed creatures of the game is fun. They're really great. I think amongst all the RPGs here, Tales of Arise kind of shines this year because I think it's the most well-rounded RPG,
yeah.
and it's complete. Like one thing I think in a game in a generation where we're used to like uh games
Patches
getting
and everything.
constantly patched up, and
Yeah,
hey, we're gonna add this content at a later date. Tales of Arise releasing with everything in it, and I know of course there's costumes, but that's just icing on the cake
that's
type
fan
of
service.
content. Yeah, that's just fan service cosmetics that you want. It released with everything. I think all that's left for me when I finish the game is the one last side quest. And uh,
Uh,
one little gauntlet that I have to finish. But from start to finish, Tales of Rise was fun. It only had 6 characters, but hey,
You
all
love
those six,
the
all
characters.
those, all those 6 characters are so fun. I was a Shion. I was a Shion main.
Oh, okay, okay.
Shion is great. I play distant and heal everyone, and then
Yeah, that's,
and then
and I love
just
the laser, and she's so different compared to everyone else because
yeah, she
she
plays
has the gun.
differently, and I could say the same with everyone.
Yeah,
Protagonist Alphen is the classic swordsman guy with a twist of sacrificing health for damage, the
for damage.
usual mechanic.
Yeah.
And we get a monk.
I
I
love the
call him
monk.
monk.
Oh wait, which one? Law. Well,
Yeah,
he
no,
was the monk, but Law's
totally
fantastic.
not, totally not based on a certain Tekken character. Totally not.
But he's combo based. You have to hit combos with him to
Yeah,
continue.
combo based,
oh
and then
boy.
you
So,
get the classic Grinwell, the mage.
so I just want to say, Law plays like Tifa from Final Fantasy
Oh
VII,
yeah,
but
Oh
it's
a
the
wow.
whole
it's
different level.
The Beat Rush.
Mhm. And then, but my main was aside from Shion, I love Dohalim because he
oh
could
yeah,
do
Dohalim was great.
Dohalim could control, but also at the same time be monkish with his bow. Bam, 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 bam.
Yeah, and then we have Kisara, who's pretty unique too. Like I have
She's a,
it. She may be the most difficult out of all of them,
she is.
but
Yeah,
it's just fun. It's just fun. This is what Scarlet Nexus needed when I first
yeah,
played the game. Like, this, this was in the demo already.
yeah.
But yeah, um, it's a pretty straightforward story. The experience is pretty. You just it's a sure
It's a Tales
it's a
game,
linear path. That's
but
one
it's a
thing.
Tales game. Tales have
Yeah,
always
but
succeeded in great story and visuals that are just
yeah,
stunning.
but then again, the side quest kept me coming back. Because I just wanted to make my character stronger and
Oh
stronger until
no,
I can wipe out the average level
uh,
enemies in just a couple of seconds.
Of
And
course.
you'll never get that what I love about Tales of Rise, you'll never get that satisfaction up until you completely 100% the game.
or every
Only
area.
then, when you 100% the game, you
No,
can actually annihilate everyone.
you platinumed it. You platinumed it.
No, I haven't. I'm like one last side quest. There's that one crazy late game side quest where I don't think it's a spoiler. It's a gauntlet of boss battles. So let's just say it's
Oh,
like that. It will challenge you to will challenge you to your max abilities. I think it's one of those runs where no items allowed, just the
oh yeah.
usual heals. So
Mm.
it's gonna make my it's gonna take half of my day maybe, or a good chunk of
Good
my day to
immersion,
finish one.
John.
But yeah, Tales of Arise is so good because it's so well made. It's just tightly made. It feels like one of those wonderful handcrafted things.
Yes,
It's like a
and amazing.
handcraft.
You know how everyone was blown away with Nino Kuni when it first came out, the
Oh,
first.
Yeah.
It's that same magic that it gives you.
Yeah, I mean,
Or
you
Dragon
don't have
Quest
to do too
11,
much.
like Dragon Quest 11 when it came out, we were like, "Whoa, this is amazing!" It's the same. It's the same vibe.
Yeah,
so you still
like
get that nostalgia from classic RPGs.
Exactly.
yeah, it does. It does give that. It's I that's what I think that's the theme of the games that I played. The games I played have a lot of heart. You can
Yeah.
see
Hmm.
they had a lot of heart developing it. Like
Yeah.
Eastward, Eastward is a hearty journey. Ruin King was developed with a lot of love for
Care.
the League of Legends lore. And Tales of Arise, it's their 25th anniversary of the franchise, and what better way to celebrate it by giving basically a fan service of a fan service classic. I mean, I think for me it's fan service because it's just good. Hey, we're to treat you guys for the anniversary of the game. We're just gonna give you a really great Tales game.
And they
And
did.
And
if if everyone wants more Tales, Tales of Berseria is on sale
yeah, Tales
on the PlayStation
Berseria.
Store, and Tales of Vesperia is always on sale on Xbox and PlayStation. So you can get those, and
Yeah,
Switch always on sale. So go pick those up if you want more
yeah.
Tales games.
All the Tales games are very affordable, and I guess it's for the better because more people need to play this. This is I know they've been around for 2 decades, but
Mhm.
they're pretty underrated in terms of long running RPG
Yeah.
franchises. I mean, I would also count East as one of the underrated ones there.
East, yeah, East 8. Oh my god.
East is always not loved enough in a lot of places. So that's one thing. But yeah, Tales of Arise is arguably the most accessible RPG. I think if
It
we're
is the
gonna
most,
put if we're gonna have one game that anyone can play, I think Tales of Arise is the closest thing to that anyone can try.
oh wait, it's either that or Forza because with Forza, press R,
But yeah, you just have to you just
Drive.
drive.
have casually drive. Yeah, it's oh yeah, that's pretty that's the best
If you
equivalent
want.
there. But yeah, then again, okay, we're up to our final entry, and our final entry is the recent winner of the Game of the Year for the Game
Mm-hmm.
Awards, and
Mm-hmm.
it's a well-deserved one because
Yes,
in a generation where multiplayer means 16
online.
means tables of four.
Yeah,
In the table in the multiples of four, whether it be 464 or 128, we get a co-op experience, a split screen co-op experience
mm,
to be one of the
Takes two.
most impressive games of the year, and it's It Takes Two by Hazelight. And
Mm-hmm.
Hazelight is, of course, by Joseph Fares, who only makes co-op games at this point, and he always nails it in the head because Brothers, A Tale of Two Sons was great. A Way Out was a fun experience, and finally he gets to make a Game of the Year worthy co-op experience. It Takes Two, and I just like this because it makes you miss couch co-op. It makes you
Yes,
miss playing with friends
yes,
side by side just next to you, and invite someone over. Hey, can you play with want to play with me? Let's finish this section.
Right.
It's
yeah,
that, and the fact you can do that offline online is is great because you get to feel that same nostalgia whether or not you're on on an actual couch playing it. And of course the narrative is basically fixing a divorce, which is heavy. Honestly, I forgot. People forget that this game tackles a very serious subject matter, and it tackles it in such a bright way that you get to love the adventure of it, and it's so fun. It's crazy to see that it's just crazy that the best game of the year is one of the best games of the year is two players, and it's a must that you play it on two players.
yes.
And I know people. I know the usual complaint of people. But I game alone. No, this is your best chance to break the cycle, man. This is
Yeah.
your best chance to break the cycle, and
And
it
the
takes
thing is
two.
that, and the best thing is, if you don't have a copy, if your friend has a
Oh
copy,
yeah.
you can
Yes, you
play
can
it for
share.
free with your friend
I
because a
mean,
friend has. Yeah,
for how cold a lot of game companies are when it comes to that. At least the
hey,
shareable code system is something that a lot of other games should emulate because it's fun. Because games are meant to be shared. Games are meant to be. Uh, it's a community experience, and the fact that it takes two, literally takes two. It takes two to play. It's so awesome. And oh yeah, this is a part. This is where we haven't talked about how good the visuals are. You know,
yes,
it's basically handcrafted
yes.
plushie adventures,
It's Little
and
Big Planet on steroids.
little bit that on steroids, and probably, but if it was budgeted by both Pixar and DreamWorks, if they
Yeah.
ever had a weird collab, that would
That's the
probably
game.
look like It Takes
Oh
Two.
wait, a graphical fidelity of Psychonauts 2 with Little Big Planet. Mash that
Oh,
together.
there.
Oh
That's it.
yeah, that's pretty much
Yeah.
it. Yeah, the Psychonauts 2 is also wild. That level design masterpiece of a game,
On just
and
a note, for It Takes Two, they were talking level design. I think not a lot of people are talking about just how many games there are in It Takes Two, because
mm,
the mini games in It Takes Two, each and every one of them, they teach you them, but then you pick it up straight away, and then there's more, and then there's more, and then there's more. How they've been able to put all of those mechanics in still astounds me to this day, because it's a we've been talking about Sega, how there's a game within a game within a game in Yakuza. It's the
Yes.
same banana. It takes two. They don't show like games, but these are game mechanics from different games that are just
yeah,
wow. They so
I
well.
know I know a lot of games today are have they get mechanics from others.
Yeah,
But that's how you evolve in gaming.
yeah.
And though
But
the best way you can execute those is make sure that you have a twist in it that makes it
and it takes
sets it
two
apart.
does a fantastic way in teaching it to people. It
Mm,
takes it's not, it doesn't feel like there's a tutorial every level. The moment you see it from a game design, from a gamer's perspective, you know what to do, or you two can figure out what to do straight
yeah.
away. It's
I
so
think
well designed that you're like, oh, oh,
the visual messaging that it gives to players, like, hey, this is what you have to do. You guide your players in a subtle way. Is like it's fun. It works so well, and that's why it's game of the year in the Game Awards. And I would this is the best way to end our top 10 list because
yeah.
yeah, what else? Because in a ye- in a pretty unusual year of gaming, the best game is a two-player couch co-op in 2021.
And here's the thing:
And
none of these games are game of the years. We all love these games, but we're not saying that
Exactly.
this game is the best. This game is the best. These are the
yeah,
10 best games that you could experience anywhere you could experience games.
Well
mhm.
summed up. If I mean, there's something to
And
play at least in every
yeah,
genre.
every genre stepped up at the very least, and we all have our own fun experiences. And whether or not we're playing a shooter, we're playing an RPG, we're playing a fighting game, we're
Mhm.
playing a racing game, and that's fun. I guess the only well, to be fair, the only game genre that would probably be struggling right now is soccer. Unfortunate
Uh,
for
But
them, but hey.
basketball also.
there's
2K,
football,
there's
but
no
there's Football
improvement.
Manager 2021.
Oh
It
yeah,
came out.
oh yeah, okay. Never mind. Never
Ah,
mind. So
gotcha.
probably well, NBA has been the same game for the past couple of years. So I
Yeah, I
guess
mean,
that still works. So that's
Yeah.
one thing.
they just release rinse and repeat, and then of course golf is also going to make a comeback with the PGA
Oh yeah,
Tour.
golf. Boxing might come back. So when it comes to comebacks, let's talk about we now that we talked about our 10 best games of the year. Let's just have a brief look at 2022 because the Game Awards was also like a hype machine in terms of what games we're gonna experience. And I think what what stands out for me is one standout. Okay, I'll mention one standout. I think yeah, Elden Ring of course is one.
Mhm.
That's my I know the hype for Elden Ring for the Souls fans. It has been way longer, but when I saw like why the why people are hyped about it, it's and I understood. And when they showed the closed beta,
Yeah.
I love that they showed the closed beta because people are worried. People will always be worried. What if this doesn't run well?
Right.
And the fact that the closed beta showed us that it can run on, it can work. The open world Souls system can work. Is impressive, and I guess that just keeps the hype there. And all that it needs to do is to be to have clean Souls like mechanics, a nice little place to explore, and I guess that's it. And of course, have the story, make the story feel like the same feel as Dark Souls or Bloodborne, but a bit more expansive. And then you have the recipe there. It's
Mhm.
I don't think it's I think it's not a game that's too big to fail or collapse on its own foundation because the mechanics of it has been refined for a
But
decade now. It's too good to
and
drop.
maybe next time have a story that doesn't take 60-hour YouTube videos to explain the
Oh
lore.
yeah, you just have to jump in and bash the next guy,
Right?
uh, dodge roll as well. Um, yeah, Elden Ring is of course the most hype there. I think God of War Ragnarok is next year.
Yes,
It is
it
supposedly.
is.
We don't have a date. We don't have a date, but they promised that it's gonna be next.
Stalker
Okay,
2.
Stalker
Guys,
2. Oh my god, yeah, that's a while.
guys, come on, February to be stacked. Also, I mean, we have Horizon.
Hmm.
Yeah, Horizon Forbidden West
Yes,
is yeah, it's wonderful. Because come on, Horizon Zero Dawn was fun. It was a
it is.
complete experience, and it was a completely excellent experience. I love the world building of it, and the
Yes.
fact that they're gonna expand it to the next side of the United States is really interesting.
We're going West Coast.
We're
You're
going
going
West
West
Coast.
Coast. We're no longer in Boston, guys. This is
Yeah.
fun. Um, I think for me, I'm easy to please when it comes to Horizon Zero Dawn. Just give me
Oh
more
yeah.
mechs to take down.
And more to
Another
ride.
world to explore. I don't think they really have to shake things up. Maybe, of course, add some new gadgets and here and there.
She has,
But
at least from what
yeah,
we saw in the
There's a
gameplay.
couple. Yeah.
yeah, I like
But
that. They all you have to do is just add a few new things and refine the experience. Of course, make the story worthwhile because Horizon
You
Zero
pay for the
Dawn
story.
ended
Yeah.
in a cliffhanger.
Yeah.
And then
I mean, for me, yeah. Before playing this, I guess I have to revisit that game
Hmm.
Mhm.
again. At least the one with the DLC.
Frozen Wilds, yeah.
Yes, I
Oh
need to
yeah, I
revisit it.
have to. I have to
Yeah.
try that section of the game out.
I'm
Um,
I'm looking
yeah,
forward to Starfield because Bethesda hasn't done anything new. Well, their side of the company anyway hasn't done anything new in terms of the RPG space.
yeah.
And we've seen what they've done, what they can do with fantasy. We've seen what they can do with post-apocalyptic.
Right.
Because we've seen Fallout and Elder Scrolls in some form way before they were the open sandbox RPGs. Now, to start an
Mhm.
open world sandbox RPG from scratch and set it as a space odyssey simulator is going to be very. I'm very excited to see what Tom what Todd Howard has under his wings because
I
there's a
really wish this would I really wish this is like their big step up, because
yeah
this is gonna be crucial for Bethesda's future, because the last thing they released was the
Fallout.
last was Fallout of this. I mean, Doom Eternal kind of counts as,
yeah
but hey,
It's
that's id
Doom.
Software for the most part,
yeah
kind of saving Bethesda as a publisher,
Yes.
as
yeah
the reputation of Bethesda as a publisher.
publisher
So
yeah
I want to see Starfield succeed as well.
yeah
And if they
and all
if
the dev diaries have been really promising with Starfield. If
mhm.
you look them up, they're fantastic.
Just as
And
long as they give their all their love and attention to it, please just
yeah,
give us something
also
that
in,
would be
also
cool.
in the face of the Outer Worlds from now friend
Outer Worlds
company
too.
Obsidian.
Outer Worlds too.
Kasi Obsidian is like, oh, we have the Outer Worlds. It
Mhm.
worked. Now we're making the Outer Worlds too. And guess what? Magpinsan sila ngayon in Microsoft. So are they gonna one up each other or something?
Maybe friendly competition because they have the same stepmom. I don't know.
I think the
Anyway,
friendly competition route sounds so intriguing, because
intriguing. Yeah. And they help each other out. More or
Obsidian
less. Yeah.
Obsidian has proven they can still rejig their own franchise with
oh,
Hmm.
New Vegas, and they can rejig it even more without the Fallout name.
with
Yeah.
Outer Worlds.
Exactly.
But Bethesda, now that they're working with Microsoft and they also have the license to Indiana Jones, which I'm looking forward to.
Hmm.
I want to
Oh
see what they
yeah.
have to own.
And all I just want to say is that in Phil Spencer, I trust because much like how Halo Infinite needed a year, delaying Infinite was a big risk, and it paid off really well for them. So hopefully,
Yeah.
it'll be the same with Phil Spencer being hands on as you were saying. This is what we need for the game. This is what we can do to right the ship,
Mhm.
and
Right.
so I really have high hopes. And everyone in Team Xbox seems to have high hopes for Starfield as well. They seem happy with what Howard has so far, so that has me
Just
interested
just
and
throw
very.
money at Bethesda, and then
And we
they'll
need
make
another
something
space
amazing.
simulator in a world where Homefront and Homeworld and all the Space Odyssey games on PC are not fully released yet. This is the closest thing we have on console to play those.
Yeah.
So yeah,
And 2022 is gonna be a big year for Dune is coming back as a strategy game,
a
as it
strategy
Vice
game.
always
Wars.
is in video game form, so that's
Vice
fun.
Wars. Yeah.
I'm happy they kept
They brought it. Yeah.
it to a strategy
2022.
game.
I mean, 2022 is also, well, it will start right with, for me, for fighting games, King of Fighters 15. I'm gonna
Game
play it.
Fighters. I
Oh,
just
King
want
of
to know.
Fighters is
I just
back.
want to know what NetherRealms is doing.
I mean, there's a lot of games there. Pokemon Legends is an interesting
Arceus.
spin-off concept.
Yeah.
Arceus.
Yeah.
Arceus, yeah.
Arceus. Yes.
I'm
Um,
excited to that.
yeah. See, it's
Monster
crazy.
Hunter
It's crazy
Pokemon.
to see. Yeah, Pokemon, more Pokemon, and Pokemon in a different way.
Different.
Um,
Yeah. Finally, they did something
of course,
different.
we've talked about Forbidden West. Gran Turismo 7 is finally releasing. I
Maybe.
hate that they skipped the PS4 for this. I really hate that. Oh wait,
Uh,
it's on the PS4. No, never mind. They kinda not skipped it.
Took a while
It's
though.
it
we'll
took
see.
so long. Took too long. We all we got was Gran Turismo Sport. That was nice, but they didn't have enough of the content that you wish that a Gran Turismo game would have.
Hmm.
Um, Triangle Strategy has been interesting because
Yeah.
it's a tactical RPG by Square Enix. Just because of that, because they haven't released any of that. I want my front mission game, please. Tiny Tina's Wonderlands. So that's
Yeah.
another
Yeah.
Borderlands random shoot and loot experience. WWE 2K22 is a redemption title, but
Yeah.
apparently but the thing is, they're having a hard time releasing it. They're gonna have a hard time releasing it because WWE had a lot of wrestlers out released
Oh,
too.
since you
So
mentioned Project Triangle, there's something from the Xbox side of things. Euden Chronicle, which also has the same visual style as Project Triangle, and
ooh,
it's made by the same guys who made Suikoden, because it feels very Suikoden. This one, Euden
yeah.
Chronicle,
Mhm.
and it's coming
Yeah.
out next year. And then the side-scrolling version of it is coming out 2023. So it's like so
Interesting.
many RPGs next year.
There's so much,
And we also
so much.
worth noting we have like a Saints Row reboot, which I hope works.
Maybe
And
we'll see.
okay, if there was one game that I'm hyped about for some reason, for various reasons, it's the Advanced Wars 1 and 2 boot camp, which got released.
Yes,
Uh,
we need
I
it.
just want that to happen. I just wanna use, I just wanna
Orange
use
Star, let's go.
my
hmm.
Blue Moon. I'll just run grit until everyone is pulverized by my
For your
artillery. So,
tanks.
but yeah, that has been 2022 gaming, and it has been our game of the year list. These are 10 wonderful games. There's no clear winner I think in a lot of people's eyes this year, because it every game here deserves the attention, deserves at least double digit hours to
And your
play.
money. They deserve
Enjoy.
your money. If you have to buy anything, buy
Yeah,
it from
true
Brazil.
enough. I spent I dropped a good amount of money for some of these games, and it's so worthwhile. They're all worth the money, because a lot of the games this year are well made. Sure, there are a couple of games that stand out for controversially being half baked, but that's another story. It doesn't. I don't want to talk about that because those don't matter, especially in a year where a lot of unique experiences are available.
Wonderful.
There's so many. There's a lot of long awaited sequels, and there's a lot of indie titles. There's a lot of niche experiences. Hell, even unpacking boxes was a game of the year worthy game. So that's one thing. But yeah, that has been episode 100, and it's crazy to see that 100 fell into the game of the year episode, because and it's also worth noting that this is the second to last episode of the Geeky Ones this year, because
Yeah.
we're gonna have a little Christmas break. Everyone needs a Christmas break. I just wanna eat my baked mac and cake in peace during the holidays.
Congratulations. Yeah.
Yeah.
Congrats,
It's,
guys.
yeah,
And
thank you
especially
so much.
give them a like, subscribe as their 100th
Yeah.
anniversary gift. If you could go do their
Mhm.
socials, do it,
Follow
guys.
them, and
Yeah.
of
Share
course,
it.
we'll be back. We'll be back for more game topics. Of course, it's after
Yeah.
this. It's
Okay.
2022. See a lot
Yeah.
more.
So much. And I think if 2022 starts off with a gaming topic, that's natural. It's a given, given how many stuff that's coming in next year. But
Yeah.
um, before we end, you can check out for the Geeky Ones. You can check out thegeekyones.com, where we talked about the Game Awards our favorite Game Awards trailers. We had to condense them to 12 because it was so hard to narrow them down. So hard to narrow them down to like because there were like at least 20 plus. Had to condense them to at least one third. That's our side, and we also talked about the best art. We also listed down the best RPGs. There are some RPGs in that list that are worth the look, so you better check that out. And you can follow the Geeky Ones just at the Geeky Ones on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, and YouTube. Really
All
quick.
socials.
Yeah, all socials. Geeky Ones podcast, the audio version of this episode will be available on Anchor, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and a bunch of other podcast platforms, all for free. And you can just download and listen to your leisure. We have a huge backlog of gaming episodes that you might want to see, and that's really cool. For uh, for Neil, you have Neil Just Plays, right?
Ready
And I
go.
guess
Point it,
what
Neil.
Hi, yeah, I'm Neil from Ninja's Place. I don't do it much these days because I have been busy with life and other things, but I do stream interesting stuff there every now and then. I do want to promote this little page that I've been a little bit more involved recently called PH Tambayan. So if you like
Mhm.
Magic Gathering, if you like playing, more specifically Commander, Paper Commander over webcam, and because it's blown up. I don't know if you've heard, but Paper Magic has blown up on the internet over the past couple of months because
That'd be wild.
People want to play with their cards. So you can just join us at the PDH Tambayan page. Even if you're Australian, American, or Filipino, what have you, we're generally Filipino players, but we accept people because from all sorts of races and all sorts of time zones because there will always be a game for people who want to play dirty
Oh
shenanigans.
yeah.
That's
Everyone wants to have a little card game
Everyone
duel.
everyone wants to beat someone in the face with whatever dirty jank, whatever broken ass combo that they have. So we have that, and so you can follow them as well. But that said, I will shift it up to my partner right here to my
Oh
right.
yeah, okay, Tim. So you're
Thanks,
Timster?
Neil. Appreciate it. Thumbs up.
Uh
Please follow Neil Just Plays. I'll return that back to you. Uh,
Oh, but do follow this
Portal,
guy.
you can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. It'll be TIMZSTER. We haven't had much events, physical events, of course, since we still
mhm.
have to continue social distancing and things are just slowly reverting to a semi sort of pre pandemic atmosphere, but we're not out of the woods yet. That's why we're playing games. And you
Yeah,
can follow me
a lot of
online. We talk about
games.
all kinds of things comic books, movies. I actually started watching movies again in cinemas past few weeks. I watched Dune and I watched, what was my second movie? Eternals. Yes.
Yeah, I watched it. It was great to it felt great to go back
Yes. Definitely
and
did.
feel I just miss the immense cold of a theater.
Me too. It was chilly, but unfortunately, due to scheduling
Oh
conflicts, we will
yeah.
not be getting Spider-Man No Way Home
Oh well,
here in
I'm
Philippines.
ready to block everything related to
And Neil
Spider-Man.
is showing off his ticket. Thanks a lot, Neil. Thanks a
I'm
lot.
sorry.
Because I'm part of Spider Verse PH. We're a big
Yeah,
Spider Verse
follow
cosplay group.
Spider Verse PH. Yeah,
Yes,
might be
and
joining
we
soon.
had we supported the Don't Delay No Way Home PH movement, but
Hmm.
unfortunately, that's it. It's just an appeal. We're not blaming anybody, but we're sad. We're very sad
Yes, you
that
are
we can't
seeing
see it. And it's only
it.
Neil who will be seeing it. So Neil, please don't give us spoilers. Please,
Don't
please.
worry, I won't. I won't. But I'll be seeing it Wednesday, so we're seeing it a little earlier than the rest of the world.
Congratulations. Sad face.
Don't worry. Don't
Okay,
worry.
No,
Don't worry.
but
no,
yeah.
no.
I'll
Have
just
fun
spoil
now.
that Peter Parker is Spider Man. That's it.
Oh
Peter
God.
Parker is Spider Man.
Peter
Oh,
Parker is
oh
Spider Man.
no! But yeah, that's gonna be
You've
fun.
heard it here in the Geeky One.
That being said, yes, thank you, Geeky Ones, for inviting me
Thank you.
and Neil
Yeah,
to
Thank you
this
for
100th
having us.
episode.
We're on.
Congratulations.
It's always
yeah.
happy to be here.
Thank you guys for being here. And episode 100 is wrapped up essentially, and now we're, I think on our minds it's always on to the next 10, 20, or 30. But hey, that's for another time. And 2022 is gonna be another wonderful season of geeky things. I guess there's always something to talk about. There's always
And
something
as
that
a note,
pops up.
to anyone who has listened to the Geeky Ones at any point in their lives, if you're listening to this right now, if you appreciate Jude and the rest of the gang at Geeky Ones, please shower them your love, give them your Christmas
Oh
seeds, leave
yeah.
it over in the comments, in their social medias. Tell them how much you like their page. Tell them how much they added more color to your enjoyment of wrestling, of video games, of TV show, anything that you're a
Yeah.
geeky one about. Well, let them know in the comments because I'm sure that they would love to feel the love from you this Christmas.
Oh yeah, it's
Well
all a
said.
lot of
It's the
fun.
holidays. Give
And
some love, subscribe.
oh yeah, it's Christmas, and
They might.
it's a fun season though, because we're gonna have everything right now. And yeah, so episode 100. Thank you so much for the wonderful comments. I've been checking. I've been checking out. But yeah, awesome. Awesome time to be. Awesome time to reach this little milestone, and I just the timing of it all is really fun. And stay tuned though. Next week we'll have a little. I don't know, a season ender, year ender thingy.
Whoa!
Since it's gonna be a nice closeout for 2021, and it's all fun. That's just episode 101. That's I don't know, 101
Yeah.
Dalmatians maybe.
101 for 2021. Hey, that worked out. Yeah, 101.
Well, oh, that would be wild. That would be wild to think about. But yeah, that's for another. That's for me to That's for me and Earl to ponder about for the for the upcoming week.
That's for
But
that's for future you to worry about.
yeah, that's for future me to worry about. But hey, that has been episode 100 and of the Geek Ones, and thank you so much. And for those who are listening live or in the audio version, I hope you enjoyed the episode. It's all awesome games all around this year, and that's fun. But then again, we'll see you next episode. And thank you so much. And bye.